So this is what the platform looks like. What's really great about it is that for organizations looking to use AI tools, but they want to use them now and they don't want to have to go through some like lengthy deployment that's going to be very costly, having to train people, integrate with internal systems. That's like a six month process. Um, with this, it's literally just a browser-based app. So if I just show you, if you just go to reports-ai.app, then you can see that you can just log in here. You can log in with Google or log in with an email address, and it's not going to ask you for any bank details or anything at first. It's just going to activate a free trial automatically. So it's not going to cost you any time or money to try it out. You can just come here, log in, and then it's going to take you straight to this page. And then the only bit of information it will ask from you is details of your organization. This is just to give the platform context of who you are and what you do. So I've set this one up as Emoja Health, which is a fictional NGO that I made up just to use for this demo account. So I've got some details about them in there. I can add additional users here. This is just me in here as a monitoring and evaluation manager. I could add more users if I wanted to. So what's really great about this platform is that you're essentially able to leverage the power of like the latest AI tools, because we choose the best model for each individual task. So you're able to leverage not just one great AI tool, but all of the best ones that are best for specific tasks. You're able to leverage all of that on your own data, but without having to do the lengthy deployment or anything. And it's all done in a secure way, because obviously data security in the NGO space is of utmost importance. So in terms of like uploading your documents and using this as like a institutional knowledge base, we would call it, you just come to knowledge base down here. And so you can see I've got a bunch of different ones, because you're able to basically kind of segregate your organizational data. You call it your institutional memory, institutional knowledge, whatever you want to call it, basically all of your documents. You can organize them into essentially what are folders, but we call them different knowledge bases. So you can create a new knowledge base here. You can see I've created a bunch. I've got one that's Emoja Health, which is this NGO, that's the NGO as a whole. But then I've got the Safe Birth Program, which is a project that NGO implements on the ground in Kenya, in Uganda, and Tanzania. So you can see that I've separated those into different knowledge bases, and each knowledge base contains a bunch of documents. What's great about this is that these documents can be in any format. They can be images, videos, voice notes. So if you've got like recordings of meetings or recordings of interviews, you can upload those and it will still extract the data points that are relevant. PDFs, Excel files as well. So you see I've got log frames, budget plans, one pager, annual progress report. These are kind of things that you can use to give to act as like your knowledge base that you can then use for generating proposals, generating reports, that kind of stuff. So you can upload all of that here. You can also edit any of it. You can view the data points, etc. So it gives you a lot of power over controlling your institutional knowledge, because you can like make the edits. You can see which data points are being extracted. So it's like you're controlling your organization's brain. Essentially, you're choosing what is stored in the memory. And then obviously the next important part comes, okay, well, how do I leverage all of that memory? So we have this AI chatbot up the top here, and it allows you to choose which knowledge bases you want to interact with. So if I just want to interact with one particular knowledge base that's about a particular project in a particular country, I can do that. So I can choose this one, save changes. And then this is kind of like using, say, ChatGPT or something like that, but with access to your knowledge. So I can start these different threads here. I can create a new conversation, and then I can just talk to that data. So I can say, what are the main KPIs? It tells me what is the progress on the Safe Burst program. It tells me where it gets this information from as well. I can ask it all kinds of questions. And this way, I'm essentially interacting with my organization's like brain and memory in a very interactive way. So if you like hired a new person and you wanted to explain to them how certain things work, they can just come here and they can ask all of the data that your organization has. So it's extremely powerful, and it just means that rather than all of your documents sitting stagnant in folders, or maybe just like information being like stored in people's brains, where it can just be lost if somebody leaves the organization, you can just curate your institutional memory, curate this knowledge base, and now it's accessible for all the users within your platform. So you're actually now all leveraging the data of your business, learning from your past experiences and your past reports, your past proposals, all of that, So it means, yeah, like there's a lot more learning that can be done. But what's also very powerful is it means you don't have to repeat work that has already been done. So what I can now show you how you can do is leverage your past data to generate future proposals, donor reports, stuff like that. So if I come here to grants, you can see we've got a grants section, which this is going to be interesting for you. So not only can you search grants here, go to the grants page. So what's great is that we scrape the web for grants. We list them here, but we also have a fit score, which you can organize them by that. So based on the information we have about your organization, we can generate a fit score of how compatible your organization is with each individual grant. So that way you can list them by which ones are actually like relevant for your organization, saves you a whole bunch of time on searching for grants, and then you can view details. You can then apply from the platform. So when it comes to applying from within the platform, this generate proposal part here is where I can show you how it operates. So if you've gone to the grant and you've got it could be like some sort of application form, or it could be a request for proposal, which is quite a common way of doing things. If you're working in procurement, I'm sure that you're dealing with requests for proposal quite a lot. And so that's probably how you see them generally. So if you've got that document, you can just upload it here. So I've got one, yeah, I had this one, which was a request for concern. So this is a grant that's relevant for this Emoja Health because it's actually with maternal health care. You can also, if you've got the URL for a application form, like an online application form, you can also use that and we can pull the questions from it. And then it can populate the questions for you. So again, it's just one of those things that can save you a huge amount of time. So you upload that, but where the real powerful part comes in is that, like, okay, you get to prompt it here, like give it some instructions if you want to, but what's the most powerful part is this is where you leverage your institutional memory, the brain of your organization to populate this proposal. So because it's to do with the Safe Births program, I could just select all the knowledge bases that are to do with the Safe Births program. So that's where I've got all of my data on that particular project that I'm going to use to populate this proposal. So I can put some prompts here as well, but I'm not going to bother with that right now. But so now what it's doing is it's looking at all of my documents within those knowledge bases. So we use like a RAG system. It's going to look through, pull out what the data points that are relevant, and then it's going to use those to look at the request for proposal and populate the answers in the best way that it sees fit. So this is how you're going to just instantly generate your first draft for a proposal. And this means you're not just like repeating the same proposals over and over again. You're able to use what really, like the really good quality content that you've created in the past and use that to generate future content. So it's all about like turning all of the stuff that you do as an organization into an asset that actually gets reused rather than stuff just being done and then discarded. I feel like so much kind of institutional memory and good work just gets lost within organizations, whereas this platform is all about how can you reuse all of that stuff, and mean that you're kind of like learning from all your processes over time, which is very important to be like a very like efficient and successful organization or business. So you can see here, like it's populated that for you. Gives a bit of background on Emoja Health, grant size, concept note, etc. It's populated all of that concept note stuff for us. And this is just the first draft. So this draft is instantly going to get saved to my drafts. And so as an organization, you can then work on this draft. You can insert comments, etc. This is just like a Google Doc now. So you can make any edits that you want to make. You can get it to rewrite any sections. You can use this little AI tool. I need to move my bubble. You get this AI tool. You can ask AI, so you can just interact with it, ask it to rewrite it in a certain way, whatever you want to do. So you can use it as a prompt box here, or you can use shortcuts, which I quite like the shortcut. So you can be like, change the tone to make it more friendly, let's say. So you've got the power of AI even within the editor to help you kind of like change stuff. But yeah, you can basically collaborate on this draft as a team, and you can share drafts. You can do all kinds of cool stuff. Yeah, so I'll quickly just show you the draft part. You see that draft is now saved there. I could do actions. This is cool. I can chat with AI. So I could say, how can I improve this proposal? I mean, I think this is just so cool. So basically, it's got your draft that it's already produced for you, And then you could actually just ask, oh, okay, how can I improve this? And you can just have a bit of a back and forth with AI. It's going to tell you sort of like the steps you could take to maybe make this proposal better. See, like you've got a bunch of feedback there on how you could improve it. But you could also just ask it, oh, can you just summarize this for me? Because let's say that you shared this draft. So what you can do, you can share it with other people, request validation, mark it as final. You can do all this stuff in here. So if I shared this with somebody else, if it was quite long and they didn't really have the time to read it, they could just chat with AI and just say, oh, can you tell me the key points within here, etc. So again, it's just another time-saving thing. We're trying to just leverage the power of AI in every way to just make the humans that are the experts, just to give them superpowers and make all their work so much more efficient. It means they can get more done, they can produce more high quality work, all leveraging the power of the best AI tools, but on your data. So the asset is still your data, is what you produce as an organization, and we're just applying the power of AI to that asset to produce amazing outcomes. That's essentially what we're trying to do. So I know the reporting side of things may be less relevant. I just want to quickly show you that as well. So yeah, a big part of this platform is donor reporting and just reporting in general. I mean, incident reporting, any type of reporting, because what's powerful about this is you can really tailor it to your own needs. So you see you've got some popular ones down here. You can do financial reports, narrative reports, M&E reports. But if you also click here, you can look at all these different report types I've created over time. So any type of report you want to make, you can just create your own. And that's the real power of this platform. You can tailor it to your own needs and build repeatable report types for whatever your need is. So like, for example, I built a focus group summary for someone recently, because like a focus group summary needs to have a very set structure. It first needs to introduce the layout of the focus group, like which questions are going to be asked, which type of people are going to be targeted. And it's like usually, well, okay, how did you find the people? Did you get like a good subset of different types of people? So it usually has that part at the top, which is all just about kind of like the layout of the focus group. Then it gets into the key findings from the focus group. So it has to follow like a very particular layout. So you can just build that as a report type. Once you've got that, you could literally just upload transcripts from say 10 focus groups, which is just like the recordings of those focus groups, and it can then produce you that focus group summary in literally minutes. So you think just how powerful that is. And I would also note that when we're pulling the data from transcripts and stuff, it can also be in multiple languages. So that's just super powerful for NGOs that are often dealing with, maybe sometimes they're dealing with people talking in Swahili, in French, and they want to produce a report in English. Then you can do all of that, which I think is just amazing. Also, I know a lot of NGOs, they have to follow certain templates. So I built some really detailed templates in here, like Oxfam templates, SCDO ones. You can, as you can see down here, you can manage all your different report types and templates. So let me just quickly show you what a detailed template looks like this Oxfam one, for example. You come in here, you can edit them, etc. So you can see like you can fill out very detailed forms like this. And what I've done is that each one of these in double brackets is a placeholder. Each placeholder is essentially like a prompt for data. So it's telling, okay, input country and region in this part, input the project title in this part. And then if you want to answer a question, okay, I want you to answer this question, but please limit it to 800 words. So you can put all these kind of prompts within a form, and then you can just upload data and get it to fill out that form, which obviously just saves you huge amounts of time, because like filling out templates can be a real pain, but you can actually do that within ReportsAI. But I'm going to quickly show you, I know I'm dragging this out a bit, so I'm going to quickly show you how to generate a report, so I'm not taking too much time. What's powerful about this as well is that these data types I upload, again, could be in any format. I'm going to upload an Excel file, a couple of rough raw field notes that are in Word. But again, this could be voice notes, this could be images of handwritten notes. You can upload PDFs, etc. So what's great is that when you're uploading data, it can just be very raw and unstructured. We extract all the data, we structure it, and then we're feeding it to an AI model in chunks to then fill out the report type or the template that you want. So basically, it's still your data is the input, so you still need to have good data that contains the relevant content, but it can be messy, it can be unstructured. We will take it, structure it, and even if it's a large amount of data, Our context engineering, where we're feeding it to the model in chunks, allows us to then produce a long report out the other side, and produce really like high quality, strong outputs that will go above kind of what you can do in like generic AI tools, all while keeping your data secure. And let's just generate a narrative report, for example, on this. Also, what is powerful about this is we're managing for the risk of like hallucinations and fabrications, because that's a big problem with current AI tools. Your generic tools out there, they tend to kind of just pull stuff from random sources, like just pull stuff from the web, or they'll actually even just fabricate information sometimes if they don't really know what to put there. And this has caused a lot of problems, a lot of loss of trust with AI generated content. So we've built this tool to be more targeted at the impact space, where the quality of the outputs is extremely important. Like the trustworthiness of the outputs is extremely important. You can't be putting other people's data or false information into a donor report, because you can damage trust. So the important part of this is that we are very much grounding the outputs in your data inputs. So again, it's all about, you've got to have the data inputs, and then we're going to polish that and generate that into the structure that you want without just putting in any false data or anything like that. So reducing the risk of that, trying to make sure it's very trustworthy. And then anywhere where our model does make an assumption, or where it feels like it needs more data, it will get highlighted in yellow. So again, this is the first draft that it produces. We still need the human in the loop, the expert, to look over this and assess whether these assumptions are true, or see where it needs more data, and then like work out whether you need to add more data. So that's really the power of this tool in ensuring that the outputs are high quality and trustworthy. That's what we're trying to emphasize. And yeah, so then you're going to then work on this first draft as a team. What's great as well is it produces these visuals to just bring the content to life, because like with donor reporting, things like that, you really want to make it visually engaging for people, and interactive, just to make it more kind of digestible for the reader. So yeah, this is like the really amazing outputs you can get once this is done here. One thing I absolutely love is that you can convert it into a text summary, you can convert it into an audio summary, convert it into a presentation deck, you can convert it into a social media post. So you can basically take what you've already produced and take that content and turn it into something else. So again, it's all about reusability. Like, you've already done the hard work, you've collected the data. That is the hard bit, that is your asset. Now it's just about turning that asset into what you need, whether it's a donor report, whether it's a presentation deck, social media post, all that kind of stuff. AI is amazing at doing that. The outputs are only ever going to be as good as your inputs, but the really long, arduous process of turning it into a donor report is what takes so much time. And that's really what we're trying to solve here with this platform.